So we are all stuck indoors at the moment, and I'm very conscious of the need for movement as well as stillness. So today we're going to explore a Yin Yoga morning flow. This is going to allow us to enjoy the stillness and the stopping, the coming in, the being, the breathing, the softening that we get with Yin. And at the same time, we're going to explore some Yang-like movement to wake the system, to move the body, to get things moving. Yin and Yang are complementary energies that go really well together. We don't want all of one or all of another. So if we're going to be still and not very active, then things are going to stagnate. If we're going to be moving and active all the time, we're going to get run down and tired. So we're always looking for that balance between the two. And today's practice is going to explore that. So as always, my videos are accessible to absolutely anyone. So if you're a complete beginner, totally fine, or advanced, you'll also get a lot out of this. So all you need to do is grab yourself whatever props you have. If you have blocks, bolsters, all of the proper Yin stuff, then great, grab them. If not, just a couple of cushions, maybe a blanket or two, and you'll be fine to make do with those. And one more thing, guys, this practice I've designed for the morning, but it really is a good practice for any time. It's still going to be gentle, soothing, calming for the body. It's going to give you a lovely stretch. It's going to balance things out, so anytime. Okay everyone, so coming to a kneeling position on your mat, or a cross-legged position if you prefer. I'm going to kneel because I don't get to do that often, so variety is the spice of life. And just letting your spine lengthen to begin with. So just imagine someone's got a piece of string on the top of your head and they're just gently pulling on it and just lengthening that spine a little bit more. You don't have to do that. But just imagine, let the spine lengthen, let the shoulders soften up here. Let go of any tension there that you don't need, let the jaw soften. And just closing the eyes, let the muscles soften around the eyes. Breathing in and out through your nose. Sit up a little bit longer, a little bit taller. Soften the shoulders again, soften the jaw. Breathing in and out through the nose. And we're going to begin our session today with some breathing exercise. Very simple, but breathing is a really awesome way to wake up the body and to get the whole system going. So we're going to just do some yogic breaths, so some full long breaths, and then I'm going to guide you to bring in something that's called Ujjayi breath. Which is a heating breath, a warming, waking kind of breath. So we're going to kind of calm and wake at the same time. Okay, so nice and soft where you need to be, nice and tall where you need to be, breathing in and out through the nose. And as we breathe in this time, just allowing the stomach to rise, and then the chest to expand, and then lastly the collarbones will lift. And then as we breathe out, collarbones will fall, chest will fall, belly will fall. So just try that for a few moments. Breathing in, belly goes first, then chest, then collarbones lift slightly. Breathing out, collarbones drop, chest falls, belly falls. This is a yogic full breath. Softening those muscles in the face, the shoulders, the wrists, the palms as you practice this yogic breath. Noticing how this is beginning to wake and calm at the same time. There's that yin and yang working together. The waking movement, the active breathing, which is yang. the sense of stillness and calm and presence that brings in, which is yin. How amazing it is when we bring those two energies together in balance, how well it works. Okay, so I'm going to invite you now to bring in this Ujjayi breath. Now, Ujjayi breath, we're still going to take long, yogic deep breaths, but Ujjayi breath, we firm the lips, so we're breathing through the nose, and we just constrict the back of the throat a little bit, as if you were trying to whisper, but you're using your breath. So breathing in, and this is sometimes called Darth Vader breath because we make a bit of a whispery noise as we breathe. So just gently constricting the back of the throat as you breathe in, and then gently constricting the back of the throat as you breathe out. So I hope you're picking that up in my mic at the moment. So just be very careful not to move into chest breathing. So we want to keep allowing the breath to drop down into the belly. You can pause at the top of the breath and then out through the nose with a whisper. And this whisper can be very gentle. I'm doing it quite loud at the moment because I want it to be picked up in my mic, but it can be quite a gentle whisper at the back of the throat, just gently constricted. Again, yin and yang, so the activity of constricting, holding, but the yin quality of softness in there. Belly is rising and falling, allowing full deep belly breaths. Face is soft, the spine is long. And Ujjayi is lovely for waking, as I've said, but also really nice, I think, for bringing you in, for really allowing you to arrive with your breath. So when your mind's very busy, this Ujjayi breath can be a really nice way to connect with your breath, because you can really hear it and feel it and arrive with it. We'll take a few more of these before we move into our practice. Feeling that deeper breath waking the body. And the belly breath calming the system. I'm going to invite you to use Ujjayi breath whenever you want to in your practice today. So if it feels natural, if it feels good, bring it in whenever you want to. So releasing that breath now, in and out through the nose, maybe just keep it long, but you can release Ujjayi for a moment. And opening the eyes when you feel ready. Taking your arms up above you, interlocking the hands, pushing the palms away. Sit up tall, have a big stretch out. Nice. Release the arms and come down to seated. So cross-legged maybe now. Give the legs a little bit of a different position to enjoy. So we're going to do some movement now. I'm going to ask you to just move your neck to begin with. So you're going to sit up tall again, soften your shoulders, and take your knee, this is your chin, take your chin down to your chest. Just sit up tall again, soften the shoulders once more, and just allow a stretch through the back of the neck, taking your head up into a circle now. Move fairly slowly. When your head goes back, close the jaw, stretch through the front of the neck and throat. Then all the way round and down. When you reach reach the bottom there. You might want to pause for a moment, stretch the back of the neck once more if it's stiff this morning. If not, just straight up in the opposite direction. Keep sitting up tall. Closing the jaw as the head goes back. And all the way down to the bottom. Head back to center, back to neutral position. Taking your left palm down to the floor. Inhale, take the right arm up. Take a breath in, reach tall with the head, with the fingers. And as you exhale, come down over to the left. Now you might want something very gentle this morning. So you can just stop here. I did some exercise 2 days ago, so I'm very stiff today. So bear with. So just keep the fingertips reaching away. The face is soft. Keep that breath smooth in and out through the nose. If you want to go a little bit deeper, or it really hurts. So down to the forearm, reach the fingertips away. Draw this knee down. You can see my knee wants to come up because I'm all stiff this morning. So draw that knee down. And pressing into the palm, back up to seated, and over to the other side. Take the right palm down, take the left arm up, reach tall with the crown, with the fingertips, breathe in. As you reach tall, breathe out as you lean to the side. So you could just rest into your hand, you could take your hand further away if that feels more comfortable. So find your perfect edge, softening through the hips so we don't, as I was there, lift the knees, we let the hips relax, and we breathe through the nose. Close your eyes, come in for a moment, so movement, but also the presence of yin. Okay, so back up to the middle, both arms come up, inhale, reach tall. Exhale, palms down, folding forwards for a moment. Just feeling the presence of your body. Maybe your ujjayi breath comes in to help you connect with the breath. Maybe you reach those fingertips a little bit further away. Maybe you ground the sitting bones into the floor, but lengthen the spine. Just taking the hands back into center. So inhale as you sit up nice and tall. Take your right palm behind you, hand or fingertips just rest into the floor. Taking your left hand over to your right knee. Inhale and sit up tall, reach the crown tall. Exhale, twist over that right shoulder. I am struggling with left and right today. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, twist. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, twist. Soft face, soft jaw, smooth breath. Arriving in the moment with the body, with the breath. Coming back to center and the other way now. So your left fingertips behind you and your right hand comes onto your left knee. Inhale, sit up tall, crown reaches up towards the ceiling. Exhale as you twist over your left shoulder. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, twist. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, twist. Don't let the shoulders rise up to the ears, draw them down. Keep the face soft and the breath smooth. Full breaths in and out through the nose. And as you release the palms, coming back to center. So we're going to come over onto all fours now, and we're going to come into some cat-cow. So these are lovely for the morning. If I have no time, I just do some of these. So palms into the floor, And wrists under shoulders, knees directly under hips. And we're going to part the fingers. As you inhale now, you can take your head up and let your back arch. So you can draw your shoulders away from your ears. Okay, so as we go the other way, I want you to be kind of mindful to tuck the tailbone under first, before the middle back follows, and then the upper back and the shoulders. And now as we breathe out, we hunch the shoulders up, we push the middle back point of the back up towards the ceiling, push the floor away, and I'm going to leave you to move between the two, following the rhythm of your own breath. So this is a flow, which means we let the breath find its long, smooth rhythm, and we follow that. We let the body follow the breath. So breathing in as you lift your head, shoulders away from the ears. And then when you breathe out, you tuck that tailbone under first, and then the middle back, and then the upper. Moving between the two now, following your breath. Although we have this yang element of movement, we want the yin element of presence, awareness, being. So with the eyes closed or open, we just connect with the feeling of the body and the feeling of the breath. We're just being here. Lovely. So a couple more. Remember to tuck that tailbone under first. Press the floor away from you. To draw the shoulders away from the ears. Okay, neutral position. We'll do some thread the needles. So we're going to take the right hand, turn the palm to face up, and we're going to thread these fingers through, and you might just come to here. That might be enough. You can look up, you can twist the rib cage around towards the ceiling. If you want to go a little bit further, you can take the arm all the way down. So you work to your body, to the point that feels just right for you, and then as we come back in the opposite direction, the arm comes up and out, reaching as far back as we can. So threading that arm through, moving between these two movements now, breathing out. Breathing in. Be here with your body, be here with your breath. Nowhere else you need to be right now. Give yourself a break from the mental wanderings and effort. Such a lovely movement to wake the spine. Remembering to follow the rhythm of your own breath. So one more. And back to all fours, going the other way now. So it's the left palm that faces up and threads through and underneath, just stopping at a point that feels just right for you. Maybe coming all the way down. So inhale as you lift the arm up and out, palm or fingertips reaching as far back as you can, and then threading under. If you want to, you can come all the way to the back of the arm and the shoulder rests into the floor. Inhale up and exhale down. Follow your breath, connect breath and movement. back to all fours. We've had a little bit of movement now, so we're just going to stop for a moment. Bringing in our yin practice. Sitting back onto the heels, reaching the fingertips away, dropping the head down to the floor. So remember, you can have a block underneath the head if you want to, or make fists if the head doesn't quite reach the floor. Maybe you don't like this at all. Maybe you want to lay onto your back for a moment and just hug your knees in. Child's pose is a very yin-like pose in that it really allows you to come in, come away from the outside world, away from life and all of the happenings of life, all the stuff you've got to do or deal with or navigate. Child's pose, we just simply allow ourselves to be here. Feeling the feeling of the body, connecting with the feeling of the body and the feeling of the breath coming and going. Maybe it feels right to you to bring in an Ujjayi breath again. But however you're breathing, it's in and out through the nose, and it's deep and smooth down into the belly. And you may notice that the mind starts to wonder what's coming next, wants to move on, and impatience. And you notice that as time to pause. Don't rush forward with the mind, just bring yourself back into this moment. Just be here, there's nowhere else you need to be, there's nothing you need to do, no effort needs to be made. Nothing to rush to. All you have is this moment. All you will ever have is the here and now. And so nice and slowly, we're ready to come out of our little yin cocoon. So coming up to an upright position. We're going to come into a lunge posture, a dragon posture. So this is a yin posture, stepping the right foot through in front. We're going to add a little bit of movement in to begin with. So the hands framing the foot, hand either side. And we want to allow that back leg to move as far back as it can. And pressing into the front foot now, we're going to inhale and take the arms up. Let the hands, the palms come together, reaching back, maybe a little gentle back bend there. And then as you come with the arms down, allow them to come out as cactus arms, giving a little bit of a stretch to the chest, taking the hands back down into our lunge position. And we'll take this as a yin pose, so we're going to be here for a little bit longer. For those of you that are new to yin, and you're trying to figure this all out, yin postures are longer held. They're still, they're passive, where they can be. And they're held for between 3 and 5 minutes. So today we are combining, holding postures for a little bit longer with some gentle movement. Soften your shoulders. Don't allow tension to develop in the shoulders. Keep the jaw soft. If this is feeling too much and you have cushions or blocks, you can just take them underneath the hands, and that can help. You can also have cushions or a bolster just under here, so the leg is just resting into something here. That can take the edge off too. Close your eyes if you want to. Come in, be with your body, the feeling of your body, the feeling of your breath coming and going. Just be here. The thing about yin is it really stops that rushing forwards that I just spoke about a moment ago. And often, you know, when we wake up first thing, from the moment we wake up to the moment we go to bed, our mind is projecting forwards to what's coming next, which really hinders us from being able to be in the moment, to savor the moment, to be in the moment, to connect with ourselves, our bodies, our breath. So it's really nice to start the day in this way, just before we project forwards and to the next posture, to the next thing. We just keep coaxing ourselves back into the here and now, just being here rather than what's coming next. Soften where you can. The arms are active, but if there's any unneeded tension, let it soften. And enjoy a few more breaths here. Before we push back to a down dog, so taking any props that you've been using to the side, take the hands to the floor, and we can just press into that front leg, let it straighten, let it come back onto all fours, and then pressing up into a down dog. So just dropping the heels up and down. Do that quickly or slowly. If you don't feel like down dogging today, you can just come to all fours, maybe some cat-cow, maybe rocking the hips from side to side, just movements that feel good. And when you're ready, we will come over onto the other side. So we're going to step the left foot through, dropping that back knee. So tucking the toes, walking that back knee as far back as it will go. In your lunge position, always making sure that your knee is directly over your ankle before the hands come to the floor to frame the foot. Having blocks if you want to, and we'll move. So on an inhale, taking the arms up and reaching back. And then as we come out, the arms come into like a cactus arms. And we come down and we just become still once more. Softening through the hips, the shoulders, the fingers, the palms, the face. Coming in, being here. I always say to my students that being here is just as simple as observing the moment, observing sensations and sounds and experiences that you're having right now. When you notice that your mind has wandered off, don't become frustrated, as often we do, because the mind wandering is part of any meditative practice or yoga practice. We just cannot stop it from happening. So we're not here, it's not like if you're really good at yoga or meditation, you have this complete 100% concentration. I think if you're good, if you like, at that, it just means that you're willing to keep returning, that you don't react so much when you wander off in the mind. And then you're willing to just let those thoughts fall away. Maybe breathe out, let go, let it fall away. And then just willing to keep returning to the moment no matter how many times it takes. But there's a softness in that. You're not putting a lot of effort in. You're relaxed about it. And you're just willing to keep repeating. Your breath is always here for you to observe. 4 deep belly breaths, pausing at the very top of the breath, pausing at the end. I'm going to take a few more breaths in. And again, taking the blocks away, pressing into the front foot. And you can come back to tabletop position first if you want to, or you can push up into your down dog. So the feet are hip distance apart in down dog. You can drop your heels up and down, push the floor away from you, part the fingers wide. Soft neck, shoulders as soft as they can be. Just enjoying this moment, just being here. Moving your body in any way that feels good to you. And then just from here, you're going to walk the feet forwards. You can walk them slowly, or you can take one big step. Take the feet a little bit wide, and you can just let the upper body relax forwards here. This is called dangling. This is another yin posture. So knees can bend just a little. You can see I've got a little bend here. And the arms can just relax down into the floor, or you can take a hand up to either elbow, softening the shoulders, softening the neck. So find that arm position that feels good. And just from the waist up, we're relaxed. So the legs have to work. But from the waist up, there's softness, especially in the shoulders. Especially that little space up through the back of the neck, up into the back of the skull. Don't be in any rush to go anywhere, just breathe and be here. Feeling that continuous flow of the breath. Okie dokie. So we're going to take the hands down to the floor, so bend the knees if you need to, and you can either walk or step the feet back to a plank position, taking the knees down to the floor first and then lowering the upper body down. Then we will come into a Sphinx posture, so our gentle back bend in yin. So forearms resting into the floor, elbows directly underneath the shoulders, and the palms facing down, so soft in the face. And just relax here for a moment. So although the arms have to work, so a little bit of yang-like activity, shoulders will soften. All the way down through the arms is as soft as they can be without letting go. Head just neutral. If you want to make this more gentle, you just want to take your hands further forwards. So the further forwards you walk your hands, the lower the chest will become. And the more gentle the arch in the lower back. Still belly breathing, so you might feel that belly gently pressing into the floor as you breathe in. Belly first, then chest. Waking the system with a full breath and calming it at the same time. You know, when we're moving the body in the morning, we always have to be more gentle, especially if you're like me and you did a stupid circuit class 2 days ago. But when we wake up in the morning, our body is a lot more stiff, a little bit more fragile. It can certainly feel that way. So when we're taking our morning yoga practice, always just that little bit more mindful of the edges that we come to. So you always, whenever you're moving your body in yoga, be nurturing, be kind. Don't force, don't push, don't be aggressive. This is another way that we can bring in a yin-like quality, a softer edge. It's not forceful, which would be more yang-like. So even if you're in a more active practice like Ashtanga or a Vinyasa or power class, you can still bring a yin-like quality to what you're doing. Softening your edge, softening unneeded tension, pausing, being. Same when we're active in everyday life. Softening through the back muscles, the belly. If you want to come take something a little bit deeper here, do be mindful of that edge as I say, but you can just take your hands out, and I'm going to get you to take your hands a little bit wider, a little bit further out, maybe slightly off of your mat, and maybe just press into the fingertips here. So as we lift up, we can come up into seal. Maybe you want to stay here, maybe you want to take the palms flat, and you just want to stay here and breathe here for a little while. Maybe the stillness is what you're craving. But if you want to continue with that movement, then we can just start to move again with our breath. So as we breathe out, we can come down. This is where the fingertips come in nicely. And then as we breathe in, we're lifting up. So maybe you want to move between the two. What can you notice about your body right now that you haven't already noticed? Letting your breath be long. So no rushing forwards. Nice to pause at the top of the breath for a moment, and at the end before you move on. That pause is just that little pulling yourself back from the forward movement, being here. After a little bit of movement, you decide to stop and pause for a little while, maybe up higher, maybe you've had enough, maybe you come down to your Sphinx, or you maybe make your Sphinx more gentle. Setting yourself up for the day. You released your habitual tension, become aware of how your body is feeling and holding itself. calmed the nervous system. You've set that foundation of breath. You've woke everything up. You can use these deeper breaths whenever you need to during the day. To wake or calm. Okay, so we're going to come down, take a rest. So pressing into the palms, slowly, carefully. Pressing back to a child's pose for a moment. So walk those knees in. Sit back onto your heels and just take that head forwards. Maybe the arms want to rest out in front of you. Maybe they want to rest behind you. And just relax for a moment, just give it the weight of your body over to the floor. Get heavy, get soft, get present. Feel the floor beneath you. Feel the breath coming and going, the belly gently pressing against the thighs. Feel the softness in the body. And maybe just taking this moment to set an intention for the rest of your day. Could be anything. Something might just come to you. Maybe your intention today is to check in more often with what you need, what your body needs. Maybe to up self-care on the priority list. Maybe it's something simple like resolving, committing to pausing more often today to just be in the moment. To enjoy and savour the moments that you have. And just holding that intention, sitting with it for a moment and then just letting it go. Just enjoying a few more breaths before we begin our day. Softening. Becoming present. Feeling the shifts, the changes after our practice. Okay, so a nice deep breath in and out. One more of those for luck. Deep breath in. Don't stop till you get to the top and out. Just opening those eyes gently, slowly. Keep the gaze low as you take the body back up to seated. Give the shoulders a little bit of movement. Waking the body in your own way. Bringing the palms together in front of the chest. Dropping the nose to the fingertips. And the light in me honours the light in you. Namaste. So thank you for being here with me, everyone, and if you enjoyed the video, hit that like button below. It really does help. If If you want to see more weekly videos from me, hit the subscribe button and hit the little bell to be notified whenever content goes up and live. And just let me know in the comments how you're getting on, if you enjoyed that practice, if you'd like to see more of that. Keep in contact with me in the comments, and that's it. Thank you for being here with me, everyone. I hope you have a lovely day.